We can't have this debate, I think, without reference to the humanitarian catastrophe that is now unfolding in Gaza. How different might the world be if the authorities in Israel and Palestine had focused on attaining the sustainable development goals for all the peoples of their territories, rather than descending into a spiral of violence and destruction. In the modern world, development and peace are so closely tied together that Pope Paul VI was moved to say that development is the new name for peace. And he also said that if you want peace, you must work for justice. And in the last few days, his successor, Pope Francis, has been even clearer about the situation in Israel and Palestine. He said, humanitarian law is to be respected, especially in Gaza. Please let no more innocent blood be shed, neither in the Holy Land, nor in Ukraine, nor in any other place. Enough. Wars are always a defeat. Always. I hope the Minister can agree with that. Conflict prevention is absolutely key to the Sustainable Development Goals. That's why SDG 16 is to promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development. So these should also be the priorities for the government as a whole, not just in its words, but in its actions. That's what constituents in Glasgow North, what people across Scotland, and I think what people across the whole of the United Kingdom want to see. Finally, Mrs Latham, I don't think we can allow the debate to conclude without, as the chair of the IDC did, without addressing the question of access to water in Israel and Palestine, and particularly at this moment in Gaza. Denying people access to water is a fundamental breach of their human rights. Cutting off water supplies to hospitals in Gaza will condemn innocent people who have nothing to do with the terrorist atrocities perpetrated by Hamas. It will condemn them to death. So the government of Israel must not use denial of civilian access to water as part of siege or any other military tactics, and I hope the Minister will echo that statement. Water is life, Mrs Latham, and in this part of the world, we take it all too often for granted. The government has to be doing more, much more, to make sure that everyone has access they need to water and to the life that it brings.